Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, Raz Creates Gaming. I know this is going to be a different one, so wrap yourselves in for this one. A lot of people actually in my channel have asked me, hey Raz, actually it was only a few, but that's the truth. How do you do your videos? Is there technique or something like that effect on how you do it? Because I'm kind of curious how you do it. Just curious into what kind of actions maybe I might want to get into. So, sure enough, you guys ask, you shall receive. So this is my video on how I do it. So strap yourselves in, have a nice drink with you, have a nice little snack or something, because we're going to dive into what basically Raz does in our little videos. So let's get to it. Okay guys, we're back. So this is my desktop, as you can clearly see. Hello. It's given. So basically there is a couple applications that we use, but the first things first we need to get is video. How are we going to get a video? Well, we get them from a lot of different sources, of course, and a lot of them come from you guys. You guys send in stuff along the way on the internet, and we have worship replays, me hanging out with you guys during Twitch streams that I record, through all kinds of different channels that we get access to files. And we take those files and whatever we think that, truthfully, I think, are relatively fun or awesome we can do, or I think is actually a cool idea, we'll do it. Now, I'm not saying that every idea that I've done is the greatest idea ever, for crying out loud. There was a couple times I've made a very controversially mistaken video that wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. So, yeah, it's bound to happen. So, we get those video files, like for example, like this worship replay here. This is one of them. So, we get videos like these all the time. And I take these, download them, edit screenshots, put them up, and we get something that could be quite relatively good. Sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's just fantastically awesome. And download them, watch them, and we edit them. But how I record them is kind of catch-22. Now, there's a lot of people who would say use OBS or Bandicam. I've actually found an easier way, and it's not a terrible idea. Some people will still say that using OBS, this program, which is free to use as well, is a fantastic program for a lot diving into the audio work, and I will agree with that. Audio is the weak point in the project design I have. However, I seem to find it a sweet spot of working with that project and not. What I'm talking about is I use NVIDIA's GeForce Experience drivers. Now, I like NVIDIA for this driver alone because it's solid. I haven't had any issues with it in the past and not any currently. It's just a fantastic little project, and I could just click here, hit record, and start recording what's in front of my front screen right through here. I don't have to adjust any filters or anything else and make it a very smooth project altogether. I get the files recorded, and then it all gets compiled into this little folder here. I can record, take all the files in here, and just take anything I record through here and put it through a gameplay. Like this whole stuff here is just me going through testing stuff, through benchmarks and everything, and you can see the picture quality is fantastic, especially if you're testing systems and seeing how, your frame rates and everything else is for this one. And there's many others that I've used it for. For example, playing War Thunder with a couple friends and just having the funny moments. Other stuff that we've done in the past with it. So, with that ability, we have it all recorded. Okay, we have the files recorded. Now we need to get other things recorded, such as sounds, GIFs, memes. Well, that kind of stuff, again, you go right to the folder again. And we just go through our Twitch work files here, and there's, the video works in progress, as you can clearly see. But if you go into my videos and fill-ins here, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Like images, funny snippets that I have in here, like the old "Be gone! Be gone! What?" So we have all those kind of things. We cut them up, we put it into the videos. Now that's all in a nice bow. However, there is one small problem what we've done now. We got the game audio, but there's no voiceovers and stuff. And I would have said you go and use the videos drivers, but it has a tendency to have one major problem. It can't filter background noise, and it can't audio edit the multiple channels. You're stuck with one channel, and that one channel can have a lot of interference between the two, especially if you're playing commentary and then you do the commentary on top of that. Now you might have said things that are not incorrect, and now you have to retake it over again. So it's like a movie, and now you got to say cut and retake the shot again, and that'd be too much work. So what's easier for me to do is I record the video there, watch multiple times, and then on top of that, edit over what I need to do. That way, if I make a mistake, I can cut out the sections that are wrong and correct them to make it better. And that's where we found, you can find too, this free program. It's called Audacity. This is a program that's used by a lot of audio engineers for the budget side. YouTubers can use this very easily, and you can see my microphone's picking up right now, and I can actually use it. So I can hit this, start recording, talk on my own voice, use it right off the bat, and make sure that my levels are correct, and I say everything I need to say. Once the recording is done, I hit the stop, and then I can go through all my effects here, noise reduction, fade-ins, fade-outs, put some echo maybe into it, adjust the speed, adjust the pitches, amplify it, or repair any mistakes into it, and just make it just what I need to do. Just that perfect little tunage to what I need. Once that's saved, then I put everything in a nice folder for myself. And when I do that, it allows me to actually have everything compiled into one section, so that actually when the video is done, I can just put everything into a nice folder, have it completed. Now, we have all the files we needed. Now we got to put it all together in one big cake mix. To put it into the mix and, make it into a nice delicious video, you use a video editing program. For example, Filmora. Now, a lot of people would say using Sony Vegas, which, go ahead. Sony Vegas is a fantastic project, and I'm not going to say it's terrible. Absolutely not. The problem with me using Sony Vegas is it's a very intensive program with a lot of speed bumps for me, because there's a lot of more work for me to get to where I want it to be. So it would take me a lot more X amount of minutes or hours to edit the video that I want it to be, compared to, for example, Filmora, which is very simple, very easy to use control. The intuitive system is very much can correct itself any corrections I need to make, and it can actually auto do some of the work for me in half the time. So with that ability, I can cut the work down in saving myself minutes and even hours of video work. The fun part with me is when I finish a video and I need to, for example, render it. If I click here, and I hit render preview or render the project, it will only take me a very short amount of time, because what the nice thing about this project is it has the ability to just, if I click here, set all the settings I need to do, put it all out. It does it within, for me, in about 15-20 minutes. Now when I did in Sony Vegas, because of some issues with their systems, it takes me 2 hours to do the same project you're clearly seeing here. This video, which takes maybe about, it was only an under 20-minute video. You guys can clearly see it's the Italian Cruiser video. You guys can look in the description down click on the link up there and watch the video as well. It's about me discussing the Italian Cruisers, which I'm sure most of you guys seen. That video just took me a couple of talks, a couple researches and stuff, and just printing out the data that I thought was relevant to everybody. And that video only took me 20 minutes to turn into a finished project after everything was recorded. If I did the same project, it would have took me 2 to 3 hours on Sony Vegas, and it just became too much of a word work. So we went back to Filmora, because that's what we originally liked, and I never had an issue with it. Now that's recorded, now we need to make a photo to cover. You need one for YouTube. This is where the next project to add to the bow is. We use, of course, Photoshop. Everybody uses it. And of course, It's a perfect little program. I mean, what's wrong with it at all? Like, there's nothing you can be say that's wrong. Like, you can make fantastically little funny little photos like this and just edit the way you want it to edit. And yes, it's cheesy looking, but when you get projects done like this, it just makes it so much satisfying. Once the projects are done, I just then take everything, upload it to YouTube, and that's it. Is there anything else I really do to add to it? Not really, because there's no point. The project really is getting everything the right way I want it. And make sure that everybody's happy with the way I like it. If I need to make corrections, I take my time, make sure those corrections are done first forward before everything else is. And that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you guys like that video, hit the like button. If you dislike it, hit the dislike. Write in the comments down below if you guys like any more of these kind of videos of like what else I do. I mean, also hit the Raz Speaks video, guys. That's actually a good compilation of just like videos that I kind of talk about side stuff along the way that like that doesn't make it as a major video, such as updates to a game or content that's coming on the way, stuff like that. So be sure to hit up there and hit the bells icon. Make sure you guys are notified if there's another video coming along the way. As always, guys, take care. I'll see you all in the next video.